Hey, it's the right weekend and TGIF, like normal. Thank God it's Friday. And as usual on Fridays, try to find some stories that may just slip through the cracks and see where, I guess, was it just to see these little stories that people really don't catch much attention, but probably should. There's significance to these stories where you could see it's a microcosm of things that go on in the world, in the government, stuff like that. So that's what my purpose of usually on Fridays is, just finding stories maybe that I saw during the week, but didn't feel like it deserved its own video or anything like that. So something where I could just talk about it briefly so you could see the consequences of it. So um, it's Friday. Let's begin. Ding ding. I'm gonna start with this one. Like I said, deadly mistake. Ban on flavored nicotine products led teenagers to smoke more cigarettes. Now, I know people are gonna say, "Oh, but vaping's just as bad as smoking cigarettes." No, it's not. Anyone who tells you that is just someone who just probably someone either they're a cigarette smoker and like smoking cigarettes more, or there's someone who's never smoked and they don't like people smoking. Um, and I'm just gonna see, I'll just read a little bit. There was a point in the article where I go, um, actually, you know what? I'm just going to read a little bit of it so you just can see what I'm talking about. It goes here: the largest target of the public health bureaucracy's regulatory efforts is flavored tobacco products, in particular, flavored vaping products that are often popular among young people. Bans on such products are cropping up around the country, but a new study shows that these restrictions can backfire to deadly consequences. Yale University public health professor Abigail Friedman examined the impact of San Francisco's ban on flavored products, and her new research published in the prestigious medical journal JAMA Pediatrics shows how it went wrong. Of course, the goal of such bans is noble. Regulators hope to discourage teenagers from using any nicotine related products, some of which persist in popularity despite already being illegal for anyone under 18 to purchase. However, not all nicotine products are equally dangerous. Nicotine, while addictive, is not actually what causes lung cancer. Instead, it's the tar and the other carcinogens that are found in traditional cigarettes, but most, but not most vaping products that can have lethal cancer-causing effects. And this is what I wanted to talk, because they'll be like, "Oh, but vaping has killed people," and it goes, "No, no, in contrast, public health experts have concluded that vaping is 95% healthier than traditional cigarette smoking. Meanwhile, almost all of the much hyped vaping related deaths come from black market vaping products, which will only become more prevalent as legal products are restricted." And this is what I used to tell people, is like, you saw these deaths and all that stuff. It was people mixing on their own vape juice, or trying to make like um basically, like, let's say THC vape, so like that they could get high from vaping. um there was that sort of thing that was causing people's deaths. It wasn't just the smoking. It wasn't the vaping. But I just want to show how, like, the failure of government policy, where the government policy here, they're trying to make smoking, they're trying to get kids to discourage them from smoking, then they discourage them from vaping, now they go back to smoking. Government, you know they don't, basically they usually don't know what they're doing. It's a trial and error, and in this case it's more error. So anyways, like I said, not at the start major story, but something that is just a microcosm of what goes on with government, the consequences of actions that they take, trying to do good, so to speak, and leading to negative consequences. So, like I said, there's one. Here's two. Kellogg's new cereal encourages kids to select their preferred pronouns. If you can't see what the issue with this is, just like, look, listen, stop with this. Let kids be kids. Stop with this nonsense. Okay. Can kids just be kids? Look, they know boys are boys and girls are girls. Why, as adults, are we forcing this on kids? This pisses me off. This is one of the ones that pisses me off because, listen, if you're 18 and you're an adult and you want to say you're a girl and you want to get your thing chopped off, or you're a girl and you want to get your thing inverted and made into one, do you? Okay, leave kids out of this. Okay, stop trying to put kids on hormones. Kids don't know. There's some people who go, oh well, he knew he was. I'll just use it for example. He knew he was gay since he was like 6. Fine. But that's different than saying, oh, he knew he was. No, listen. Your influence. And this is the whole thing. Like, kids say these things. Kids say, oh, I want to be a boy. Oh, why do you want to be a boy? Because I think my big brother's cool and I want to be like my big brother. Or, it's a boy going, I want to be a girl because my parents, it looks like my parents love my sister more. Something like that. Those things affects kids. It's not that, they're born that way. No, that's bull. Ugh, it's nonsense. Okay. So stop with pushing this stuff on kids. Okay. Let them grow up in their innocence. And when they get older, then put this stuff onto them. But of course not. These people, they want to push their agenda on these kids. And anyways, yeah, I saw this one. Like I said, this was in an article that I could just do a whole show on. Now I could do a whole show on what I was just ranting about, because that's a different story. But this is, like I said, the company started promoting its limited edition LBGTQ Pride cereal, which features brightly colored berry flavored hearts dusted with edible glitter, ideal for attracting little appetites. Back in April, the company's press release and attendant news story all highlighted the front of the eye-catching purple box that sports the tagline "Kellogg's X Glad Together with Pride," along with okay, whatever. Um, Political commentator and podcast host Dave Rubin drew attention to that element Monday afternoon by posting a photo on the side panel of Twitter. The panel sports a list of pronouns, including they, them, after the list, and invites kids to add your own on 2 additional lines. I just want to click on this and see it, just out of just curiosity. Let's see. I didn't finish reading the article. I just got. Yeah, there you go. See, him, her, she, him, he, him, she, her, they, them. Add your own. So look, like I said, to each their own. I'm not. Just leave the kids out of it. You want to do it when you're an adult. Once you listen, as a parent, and this is why I'm to me, it's child abuse when parents are doing this. When parents are when your kid's 18, you can't control them anymore. They're adults. But when they're kids, sometimes you got to protect your kids even from themselves. Okay, you can't. If your kid was trying to commit suicide, you wouldn't assist them in trying to commit it. So this is something that you should they should seek help, and not hormones. And then once they're 18, after they've had therapy, if they still feel that way, do you? But when you're a kid, let kids be kids. And like I said, us as parents, we have to protect our kids even from themselves. So anyway, spent enough time on that one. Let's go on to the next story here. Tensions are escalating. Ontario's congregation charged for meeting outdoors after police locked church. Now I know what people are going to. Some people, especially on the left, are going to say, "Oh, why can't these church people? Why can't they just, why do they have to? Why can't they do stuff online?" Well, here's the issue with this one. The Church of God in Alma, Ontario, many of the members, which are from the Mennonite tradition, held two services, May 16th and May 23rd, in violation of the Reopening Ontario Act, which limits even outdoor gatherings to 10 people. The Mennonites, if you don't know the Mennonite tradition, here in Pennsylvania, we know them. They're the Amish. So anybody here in the Northeast knows the Amish. That's the Mennonites. They don't do online. They don't really do electricity. So they can't do online services. They have to meet in person. So for what's going on in Canada, and the reason why I posted this story, because it slips through the cracks. Like I said, it's a Mennonite tradition, and what's going on with the attack on religious freedom in Canada is, and it's underreported in this country, is sick. It's our neighbor to the north, and we're not hearing anything about this stuff on mainstream news. And the only news coverages that are covering it are people on the right, like the Daily Wire, like Fox News. They're the only ones covering that. So I think that it's so underreported. That's why I'm like, this is why I brought it up. I can't do, this one story I can't do a whole video on, because like, it's going to take me a few minutes. Like I said, the Mennonites, okay, they're the Amish. They're they're wholesome people. They don't even vaccinate. So, anyways, like I said, we need to, if you're a Christian, pray for our Christian brothers and sisters in Canada, because what's going on there is disgraceful. It's really disgraceful. And speaking of disgraceful, nice segue, right? I didn't even mean to do that. But um CNN to Paul Ryan, start deplatforming Fox News hosts. So apparently Paul Ryan is on the board of he's on the Fox News board. Is that what it is? Was here Ryan there it goes. After Paul Ryan criticized the Republican Party for supposedly being too devoted to former President Donald Trump, multiple legacy news anchors called on Ryan to use his position on the board of Fox News parent company to muzzle the network's extremism. One of Ryan's former colleagues, Representative Charlie Dent, went on to say, I hope he uses that position to start deplatforming some of these nuts that they put on. Now here's the thing, and it goes here. Ryan, no surprise, Ryan, who held a fundraiser for Liz Cheney after the first inter-party skirmishes this winter, also warned conservatives not to get caught up in every little cultural battle, because they're sometimes just creations of outraged peddlers detached from reality. Look, want to talk about detached from reality? It's this SOB, okay? You're talking. I mean, it's no surprise that Romney Ryan, these people, he would not get the picture. He didn't know how to beat Obama, but he's going to tell us it's not. That's the point that these neocons, the that's what I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna call most of these neocons, like Liz Cheney, like her father, they don't understand. It's not about anyway, let me I'm gonna stop sharing the screen there. It's not about um it's not about one person. It's about the movement. If Trump decides, let's say for example, if Trump just does rallies and he decides that he's not going to run, he's going to throw his candidacy behind, let's say, DeSantis or Paul or Cruz. Okay. The reason people like Trump is not just his policies, because his policies were great. Okay. He was not my first choice. But the problem is that you have these rhinos and these neocons, all they care about is war. And all they care about is money. That's all they care about, lining their pockets. And he can't understand that the MAGA movement is about helping Americans and every American. You know, there's the saying that goes, "A rising tide raises all ships," and that's the problem that these people, the racists. I'm gonna call them racists because when you want to try to focus on just women and just blacks and just Latinos, you're fine. Let's say if your policy works, you're only raising one segment of the population. That's all you're doing. You're not lifting everybody. You're lifting one group. That's unacceptable. You got to try to raise everyone. That's how it works. That's why without COVID, Trump's president still. Because the economy was doing so well that without COVID, Trump's still president. Gas prices were low. Um, food prices were fine. We'd be in a better position right now. But you got the Paul Ryans, the Liz Cheneys. They need to go. They need to go. These people who voted for the January 6th commission, they need to go. They need to be primary. They need to go. The senators that supported them, they need to go. Because you can't call for a January 6th commission and then not call for an investigation of what was going on this summer with the riots. Or better yet, what about um, uh, an investigation into Biden with the stuff that went on with Burisma? Because now that more stuff has came out, now that we know that the Hunter Biden laptop is real. That, by the way, that the media censored, social media censored to protect Biden, to protect the Democrats. So, anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. It's Friday. Enjoy your Friday. It's Memorial Day weekend, so if you see a vet, thank them for their service. Don't forget to thank them for their service if you can. And you're there, like in you see them in a coffee shop. You see them pay their bill. They thank you because uh, their service and allows us to be the free that we are right now. So, anyways, so I'm the Right Rican. You can follow me on YouTube and Rumble or on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, and Telegram. All right. That being said, have a good one, everyone.